I'm here with the infamous Flat Earth Dave.
Jake, this is so exciting to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. You're probably be the most controversial guest, despite having like David Duke and these type of people.
Oh, great.
I like talking to you. You're not supposed to. And honestly, I've never looked into Flat Earth at all. Like deliberately. I just didn't want to look into it because what if it happens to see things that are true? I don't want to know this because the lie would be so big. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let you come in here and kind of tell your side. I'm going to push back a little bit.
Okay.
But this isn't a debate. I'm going to mostly let you tell your side, and then I'm going to kind of ask some of the...
Ask me the hard questions. I love the hard questions. But let me tell you something about why people react so hard. Why you said, I don't want to look into this. Because if you look into Flat Earth and find out it's true, you have to admit that you've been fooled, that they had you, that you're not in control of your reality. And that's a really hard thing for some people to do.
Well, if the lie's so big, it means everything's a lie if it's true.
Everything is a lie.
So that's like, well, I've been seeing a lot of things are lies. So I guess that's
Can you name one thing that's not a lie?
Even the news is fake. That's the thing.
All the news is fake. It's incredible.
And through most of history, it was always taught the world is flat. It appears that way with our own ears and eyes, but we're not supposed to question the experts.
That's how you get your degree, by not questioning, memorizing, regurgitation. People call that education, but it's actually just indoctrination.
100% agree, as doctors have. Anyways, I'm not I'm a skeptic still. It would be so big. Well, actually, let's go instead. Let's start with how you became a flat earther first, then we'll get into the details of it.
So I was into
this is his flat earth block. Oh, they can't see it.
Oh, it's all right. It's fine. I was just into exploring truths, right? The first thing I really got into was I saw a movie on YouTube called Money Masters about what is money. And I was like, what is money? Why is money valuable? And it taught me all about that. And then I got into the Federal Reserve and the IRS.
Great topics.
And I started looking into those things. And I was working for a solar company, and every day in the lunchroom, my buddy Tim and I, we would be talking about these things, and more people would gather around. We go to lunchroom, there's like 20 people waiting for us to what are Tim and Dave going to talk about today? We're not conspiracy theorists, we're conspiracy analysts.
Yeah.
So Tim said, hey, we have an opportunity to start a podcast. This was like in the early 2000s in New York City. And we started this podcast, and I had to have a comedy element to it. So we had me and Tim, the truth tellers, and then a comedian that tried to turn everything into a fart joke. And we looked, and the first episode was titled 9/11 is Dave's Baby, because we dove deep, and it blew everyone's mind. So this podcast,
clearly the official story is a lie.
Oh, absolutely, completely. And the people in the studio, the executives, by the end, they're all holding their heads like, what the heck just happened? Can we even air this? So that podcast took off, and in the third year, people started sending me Flat Earth. Hey, Dave, have you looked into Flat Earth? And first I thought it was a joke. Then I made fun of those people. I ridiculed them. I banned them from our social media. You're too stupid to even listen to our podcast if you think I should look into Flat Earth.
Yes, it's very stigmatized. Like, oh, these really dumb, pathetic flat earthers.
That was like in 2014. And then my friend Sophia Smallstorm, who had done 9/11 Mysteries and Unraveling Sandy Hook documentaries, who I trust a lot, she said, Dave, you got to look into this. And she sent me a couple of videos to look. And I went into it not with an open mind. I went into it, I'm just going to debunk this and be done with it, right? And for 2 weeks, I could not sleep. I'm just looking, where's the curvature? Where's the rotation? Where's the boats over the horizons? Everything. And I was just debunking all of the beliefs I had. At the end of that 2 weeks, I'm like, the earth is not a ball. It's provable. And so I didn't want to talk about it on the podcast, but
You felt like too embarrassed.
Oh, well, I didn't want to. I'll be honest. We're gonna lose our audience. We had a growing audience. I loved it, and that lasted one episode. And I was like, I got to talk about this. And so for a year, we had a Flat Earth segment in almost every show, and the podcast kind of ended after 3 years, and I started the Flat Earth podcast. And that was just, there was no podcast, lots of YouTube videos on it, but no podcast. So I started a podcast, and it was called The Flat Earth Podcast. You can still listen to it on all platforms. And that was the beginning of my journey.
Yeah, see, I don't know anything about flat Earth, so I sent your name to a friend who's a flat earther, and he was so excited. So I'm like, all right, I guess I want to make sure I get the right guy. Should I use this guy? He's like, yeah, definitely if you can get him. So here
Awesome.
we are.
And I don't do many in-studio podcasts. So most of the time I'm on Zoom and I could pull up images and stuff. So we're going to talk about stuff. If I get into anything specific, I'll give
try
you
to
the
pull
video.
some of the videos up and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think overall we'll be able to. Well, it does help, I guess, for like the curvatures, all that stuff.
Here's the thing I want to tell people. If flat at this point, I'm guessing 90% of your audience knows something about flat Earth.
At least a little bit.
Yeah, they know something. But if you think flat Earth is a psyop, and by the way, I made the conclusion right at the beginning: flat Earth is a psyop to discredit all other conspiracy research. I made that. That was my conclusion. Right? I was just wrong.
That's kind of what I've thought. Like, oh, this is to make conspiracy theorists look stupid. But you know what? I should give it a fair chance.
And now it's to the point, if you don't know the Earth is flat, you look stupid.
That's what A. Bravo was saying. He's like, oh, I'm not even talking about that anymore.
Yeah.
We're way beyond that.
I don't need to prove flat Earth. It's already been proven. I need to share the information. I need to help people get by the Google censorship that is hiding these videos, right? And then you have to use your common sense. The problem is people are lazy. They don't know how to think. They know how to memorize and regurgitate, as we just discussed. And they are afraid to look into it because their entire life was built over a lie that was taught to them in first grade or kindergarten.
Yeah.
You go to school, they teach you that the Earth goes around the sun. They teach you this at the youngest age, so it becomes the foundation of all of your thoughts.
It's really hard to change things at a young age. The dinosaurs we were just talking about earlier.
Yeah.
They push it heavily in your head from such a young age that it's so hard to change it. And if it is true, the reason I didn't look into it shatters my whole worldview. And then what do? You have to rethink everything. And if you talk about it, you're a crazy lunatic.
Well, it used to be that way. Now, if you talk about it, people are like, wait a minute, I've heard something about that. Wait a minute, I saw a Dave Weiss video. Wait a minute, I saw something. I have a question. And
when does this change happen, in your opinion?
The switch over happened around 2017. 2017.
Really? So before COVID.
Yeah, before COVID. But now it's becoming more and more. Like literally, we're at that hockey stick ramp of people finding out about it. But I don't know if you remember in 2016 and before, when you search something on YouTube, it tells you how many hits there are. Hey, you search flat Earth, there's 400,000 hits. You search Donald Trump, in 2017, the day that flat Earth, and Donald Trump was big on the videos on the search back then. The day that flat Earth beat Donald Trump and something else, like Justin Bieber or something stupid, the day that it beat it, they took down the scoreboard.
Wow.
There's no more scoreboard anymore. So now you don't get the number of results.
They don't want people seeing it, and they want to mock and ridicule the people. That's what I'm looking into. If they mock them so heavily, they don't want people to see it.
If you Googled how to weave a basket underwater, you'd probably find some information on how to weave a basket underwater, underwater basket weaving. But if you Google top 10 reasons the Earth is flat, you're going to get top 10 reasons the Earth is not flat.
Yeah, they'll debunk it. That's what happened when I'm trying to do this type of stuff. I had to ask in the right way to get answers over things. And that's sort of. It was good. You hit me at perfect timing. I was thinking, you know what? Maybe I should do flat Earth. My fans have been asking, and then Stu Peters connected me with you. I'm like, you know what? This is meant to be timing.
Perfect. Everything's meant to be. There are no coincidences. What I wanted to say at the beginning was, don't believe anything I say. Right? Belief is how we got into this mess in the first place. Right? I want you to listen, open up your mind. Erase everything, planets, stars, galaxies, all of that. Just get rid of it. It's all made up nonsense. It's Narnia nonsense. None of it is scientifically provable. The opposite is scientifically provable. And then start fresh.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell you now, go to my website, flatearthdave.com, scroll down, it says Crash Course. It's just a YouTube playlist of videos that Google will never share with you. And if you watch the first 5 videos, you two will be in the same boat that you're about to go into.
They'll never recommend those videos.
Those videos will never show up. Unless you're already a flat earther and they already know it, then it possibly might show up. But they know who you are. They know what you believe. And if you're searching flat earth, you're going to get Vsauce.
Well, I searched it, and a lot of it was things trying to debunk it mostly.
Right. Yeah,
I found a couple things, but a lot of stuff was trying to debunk it.
Most of it's trying to debunk it, but I've kind of broken their algorithm. Jake, I've gone on so many different podcasts. The algorithm doesn't know what to do. If you actually search Flat Earth Dave, you get a bunch of my current videos and old ones, but you also get some of the nonsense. FlatEarthDave.com, Crash Course. Watch those videos. Watch my interviews. I do a lot of multimedia interviews, and make up your own mind. I'm not telling you what to think. I want to just show you some doors that were hidden from you.
Thanks for watching Fight Back Podcast. If you like the show, like, subscribe, or share the video. There's also donation links in the descriptions. Yeah, see, I've done very little research on this, but a couple of days ago I stumbled across something that really kind of pissed me off. I don't like being lied to. The lenses they use from
The
space.
fisheye lenses.
Yeah, and I had to ask the right way to get the truth in that. And they use a lens that adds a curve.
Yeah, the fisheye lens, anything above the center will arc, will bend. Anything below the center will convex.
Yes,
And the same on the side. It'll arc this way and it'll arc this way. So anytime you see a rocket video of the Earth, the curve will only be on the top half or the side half of the image. There's the famous Red Bull jump with Felix Baumgartner, if I ever get that name right. And he goes, I saw the curve of the Earth, and they show this classic picture from outside, the camera on an arm looking at the pod, and you see the curve of the Earth, like a good quarter of the Earth, but it's all land. And if we zoomed in on it, it was all New Mexico. So New Mexico covers a quarter of the Earth?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
I couldn't believe it when I saw that they add the curve through the lens. That's like clear deceit. Now, that's the only thing I've seen so far.
Yeah.
To go to your side. But that's a big thing. To me, that's a big lie.
Well, NASA adds the curve. You know, if you watch any of the live ISS feed of the Earth, the curve constantly changes. Every time they look out the window, it's this much curve, it's this much curve. Well, it would always be the exact same amount of curve. It would never change.
And like you said, it wouldn't curve that quick. Like New Mexico, it wouldn't curve that. So they add this lens that adds a curve. And you can maybe argue, oh, they're trying to do it so people believe it's round, but why are they trying to force something that's not real?
Well, the idea of the Earth being a ball is anti-God. It's anti-creation. It's to disconnect you from your true source. It's to make you think that you evolved from pond scum versus were created. You know, people go, well, it's very conceited to think that you were that we're the center of the universe. That's very, what's the word they use? Not conceited, but
arrogant.
Very arrogant for humans to think that we're the center of such a big, infinite galaxy and universe. Stop listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? He is just a spokesman. He's not the smartest guy. He's got the dumbest arguments, but he says them with such confidence. And because he's so prominent, people just accept it as truth because it's easy.
Well, why are they pushing this guy if he's not a genius?
Yeah. So we're not in a universe. We're not in a infinite expanding universe. The best way to turn someone into a flat earther is teach them the globe model. Because the globe model is so ridiculous. I tell people, you're not stupid, it's stupid.
Like I said, I'm agnostic on it, but the whole Big Bang Theory is clearly ridiculous. There's nothing that blows up, it turns into everything.
Yeah, once upon a time, there was nothing. It exploded and became everything. And it expanded outwards.
That's
and
the
then lightning
narrative.
struck, created DNA, which turned into an amoeba. That amoeba turned into a tadpole and a frog and a fish. The fish grew legs and lungs, climbed out of the water, found another sexy fish, and turned into a monkey who had a retarded baby that became a human, right?
Yeah. Doesn't matter how many years it takes, I'm never going to go from a fish to a person. You're not going to adapt that way. It's just not possible, but yet this is what they teach to our kids.
This is what they're teaching to our kids.
And the same with the Big Bang. There's no evidence of it.
Right.
They just act like there is. And some guys go, oh, this is what it is. If you question it, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist.
People say, I like talking about all aspects of flat earth. What's beyond where we're allowed to go? What's the reason that they're lying? These are things that I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I don't. Yeah. Right. So I like that you're still asking questions. We've been hanging out a lot of the day. We deliberately haven't talked about flat earth because we wanted to save it for the podcast. But you're a curious guy. You're not pretending like you know. What's your model of flat earth? Do you have a model of what you think it is?
Well, the earth is like a clock. It's a just think of a giant pond in let's look at Kansas, right? Kansas, we have a lake, and we'll make it 200 miles across. That's a big lake, right?
Huge.
So we got a circular lake with a diameter of 200 miles, right? 200 miles. So at the center of the lake, we have an island, and it's got a small little mountain on it. So it's 100 miles offshore. You're not going to see it, right? It's too far.
Yeah.
And that's a magnetic mountain. So now there's islands all throughout the lake, and we're on a boat. We're out there, and we're 50 miles offshore. So that means we're 50 miles from the center. We're 50 miles from the shore. We're in the middle of the ocean, essentially. We can't see anything. You can't really see land over, 20 miles away, 30 miles away. It's hard. It's very hard to see. So we're out there, we get our compass out and our compass points towards the center. So if the compass points towards the center, here's the center, right? West would be that way, right? But west is a circle around the center, right? Because my compass will always need to point towards the center. So I can follow my compass, think I'm going in a straight line, and I'll come right around to where I started before. Same for east. Well, which way is south in relation to north?
Opposite way?
Opposite way. So we were both at the North Pole. Let's say there's an actual pole there. We both have our backs to the pole. We're facing different directions. Are we both facing south?
No.
Yes, we're both facing south. If there's 4 of us, we'd all walk opposite each other, away from each other. That's south. South is every direction away from the center.
So,
That's the flat Earth model. The sun circles around in between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn.
Still, but like flat in your view.
Right. It's a circle, but it's flat. So I don't know if I can show this for the camera.
So you can kind of see it.
Yeah. So what's my camera? I got that camera.
So how would the sun set then?
Yeah. All right. So the sun just goes around. Let me just turn this
So
on.
you loot.
Yeah. The sun is the hour hand, and it goes around once a day. And so when the sun goes far enough away, you lose it due to sight. Like streetlights. We're on a road with streetlights. So you're standing under a streetlight. It's, I don't know, 30 feet above your head. And there's streetlights all the way down the straight road. About a half a mile, quarter of a mile, half mile away, the farthest streetlight you can see looks like it's merging with the road.
Yeah.
It's still 30 feet over your head, but it looks like it's merging with the road.
Yes.
Where's the next one? Where's the light that's a mile away? You can't see it. It's beyond your horizon. What is the horizon? The horizon is different things. There's a terrestrial horizon and there's an atmospheric horizon, right? The atmosphere is like if you're in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, perfectly clear water, you can't see the wall on the other side. It's just because the light is attenuated in the water. You with me?
Yeah.
So the same thing with the air. Over distance, the air becomes opaque. Due to perspective, the clouds that are above your head at 10,000, 15,000 feet, 20 miles away, look like they're touching the horizon.
Yeah.
Right? So you have 15,000 feet of atmosphere going into a line. That line is still 15,000 feet above your head, but it looks like it's at your eye level. So when something just goes away, it goes, if this was the sun, it just goes away. It's disappearing from the bottom up.
I see. So and
it's just due to perspective. Now, on my YouTube page, I have a YouTube page with very short videos for those of you that don't want to listen to long, short attention span. Everything's under 5 minutes. DITRH. It stands for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. DITRH. There's tons of stuff there. On my website, flatearthdave.com, you'll find other stuff. And then on my app, also, there's Where Does the Sun Go? And I have tons of videos that explain that and show it visually, and then go out and test it yourself.
You had a lot of followers on your app. We were looking at that earlier. Like,
yeah,
a lot of people following.
There's 230,000 active users on the Friend Finder. Yeah.
Well, you said a minute ago, you said go out and look. Always look what, question what we're saying. Don't take what we're saying, or like I said, I'm not a flat earther, but I'm going to look more into this. Always should look up. Don't just take it, and I always tell my audience, don't listen to what I say. Go look it all up.
And I want people that if you're watching this on YouTube or whatever, I have a whole team of paid trolls that follow me everywhere and will hang in the comments. You leave a comment, they're going to comment on your comment. This is what they're going to say. Here are their globe proofs. They're going to say, Dave's a grifter. Dave's app sucks. Dave lives in his mother's basement. They're going to just say all these things, but they'll never offer a globe proof. And you click on their channel, empty channels.
No, that's what I've noticed, because I get the same thing. You get these like paid people that go after you and try to make it look like a lot. So the common person, they'll do it trying to get you fired, but it's really just like 100 people, these organized groups they get. So you run into the same thing.
Well, that, I was in corporate America. I started my own company with a couple partners, and I was having my truth journey at the same time. And it was to the point where like the trolls were making it difficult for me to work, causing issues.
Yeah, they'll try to like cost your job.
Yeah.
That's weird.
They're so
angry over flat earth. They try to cost you your job. That's insane.
It's crazy. But I decided, I built a successful business. I had, what they call the American dream, good money.
You're already extremely successful. I think it's important for people to understand that you gave up a really good job.
And I walked away from it all. I was really thinking of walking away. You know who helped me walk away?
Who's that?
Owen Benjamin was the last straw. So I walked into work one day and I said, God, I need a sign. I'm actually thinking of walking away, something that I've built my whole life for, right? My whole life, everything I did was to make more money, right? That's what we're taught to do.
That's what we're taught from a young age. Money, money, money.
So-
but you realize there's a lot more to that.
So I asked God for a couple signs, and boy, did I get them. And then the next day, I'm like, am I really going to leave? And I was talking to Owen Benjamin, and he's like, Dave, just do it. Just leave. And so I went home to pay my bills that night, and my app money had just come in, which wasn't very much, but I paid my bill with that money. And when I was done paying my bills, I had $1 left over. $1. And I was like,
That's extra money.
I was like, if I do this full time, I'll be able to support myself, not in the lifestyle that I was accustomed to, but that's not why I'm doing this. This is the first time in my life that I'm doing this because I want a better life for myself, for my kids, for you, for your kids, and for everybody else.
She feels absolutely important to spread the word.
So people say, Dave, why does the shape of the earth matter? What difference does it make? I still have to go to work on Monday.
I think it would matter a lot, I think.
Well, it does. It matters more than you can realize. Well, why aren't you focusing on child trafficking like our friend
That's
Ryan Matta?
That's also a big issue, but
he's amazing with the work he's doing. All of these things. Well, all of these things are only possible because people are lost in space, spinning out of control, don't know who they are, don't know what resources we have, and don't know the power of our minds. They don't want us to know that our thoughts create our reality. They don't want us to know different ways to take care of ourselves that are free, that are amazing.
No, I think if it's true what you're saying, it's absolutely important we know. I had Owen Benjamin on the show. Well, I don't think this was on the show, but he's hanging out with Richard Spencer, who's a skeptic. But he was doing a good job even convincing him. But he said something that really caught my attention. I forget exactly how he worded it, but he's like, yeah, man, I'm crazy. I just don't think we're on a spinning ball going 6,000 miles through how fast they say it's going.
We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. We're orbiting at 66,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You can't fathom that, right? And then we're chasing the sun at 500,000 miles per hour. And that entire system's moving sideways at millions of miles per hour.
Owen hit it so perfectly. Even Richard was like, damn, that kind of...
Here's the thing that we have. I do a lot of TikTok lives and stuff because it's a platform where people can come up and ask questions, and we say opposition only. Come up with your best globe proof, and people come on Earth. Of course, it's a globe. Like, what's your proof? They don't have any. Oh, they only have questions about flat Earth.
As a child, and the experts say it. That's you asked me earlier. Why do you think it? Because if I had to choose, that's what I would say. But the only reason I think it is because I was taught that as a child.
Yeah,
I have no proof of it.
We have when people think seasons prove the flat Earth once you understand them. Boats disappearing over the horizon, easier to understand on a ball, but when you understand how it really works. And here's the problem. Boats do disappear from the bottom up, but they disappear at different distances. The ball has a requirement of a maximum distance on the ball, right? So you're a globe believer. What's the what's the curvature rate of the ball? Don't even know, right? Because if you knew, you'd be like, wait a minute, this is weird. At just 3 miles, there's 6 feet of curvature.
Really?
3 miles, there's 6
feet of
This
curvature?
is their formula, not flat Earth formula.
Yeah.
Globe, 6 feet.
That's
so
a lot.
So that means if you're
Way more than
standing
that.
at the edge of perfectly calm water on a perfectly clear day, there's nothing else obfuscating your view, you shouldn't be able to see the surface of the water beyond 3 miles because it's over the curve because
So
you're
if
6
someone
feet
was
tall.
like surfing, you went, and
If you
were
were-
6 feet, you wouldn't be able to see them.
If you were sitting down, that horizon would be even closer, right? But we can see things
With
far
binoculars and stuff, you could see them,
even with your
correct?
naked eye. So when I first, looked into this, I bought, Nikon had just come out with their Super Zoom P900 camera. And I bought it, tripod, had a perfect clear day at the beach. I zoomed in on a buoy that was over 10 miles away. Not only could I see the buoy, I could see the surface of the water beyond the buoy.
And this shouldn't...
That
by
buoy
their
should have been
model, that
behind
shouldn't
a
work.
6-story building of curvature.
No, that's very interesting. Like I said, after this, I'm going to do a lot more research. I figured it would make more sense to go on this time.
Yeah.
Hear your side, but that's weird.
Yeah. And here's the thing: if I had gone on another day where it was a little windy, where a little bit of atmospheric haze, I might not have seen the buoy, and I would have gone,
It's because of the curve.
Yeah, it's because of the curve. It's never because of the curve. Even the anti-flat earther trolls out there, they say that the horizon is optical, not physical. Wait a minute. If it's a ball,
Why would it be?
you can't see the horizon because they want their
Why would
cake
not
and
be?
eat it
It
too.
has to be physical. How
Well,
can
they
it not be
say that
physical?
because of refraction and everything. Let me ask you a question. So I got this. All right, this is a hill, and this is me, and I'm behind the hill.
Yeah.
What weather conditions would make me pop up here so you can see me?
If it was like
Nothing.
nothing,
There's
yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
because you don't have line of sight.
Yeah.
You don't have line of sight. So things in the distance.
So if there's a 6-foot curvature, you couldn't see them.
Right. Well, if you're behind a 6-foot hill, if there's a hill, we're outside and I'm ducked behind a hill and below your eye line, you can't see me. And no weather condition is going to make me pop up.
That.
Right. So things in the distance will compress, will mirage, will wave. Like my wife was walking down the beach. We were in the Caribbean, and she's about a mile away, and I'm zooming in on her camera, and she looked like a genie. She was just like, just because of all of the atmospheric distortion, I'll call it. Call it refraction.
Yeah.
But if there was a 10-foot wall in between us, there's nothing that would make her pop up over that wall. So we've done tests on frozen lakes, right? Large bodies of water at rest lie flat. Makes sense. They need containment. They freeze flat. And on a lake, we put we had 4 lights, 5 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles, and 8 miles away, 1 foot high. We had the camera 6 inches off the ice. We documented all of this so you can see the whole thing. Now that doesn't sound like very far because we're told, Bill Nye, the lion guy with the bow tie, says
These are the people that they have.
Yeah, these are their spokesmen. Say that, well, the Earth is so big, but their math says even adding crazy amounts of refraction, that the 8 mile one should be like 22 feet below the curve.
Wow.
And then all the way down to like 10 feet or whatever. But we look and we see 1, 2, 3, 4 lights all on that same plane. They're all on the same plane.
Curve at all.
None of them are higher. None of them are hiding.
Their math says this. It's interesting. I didn't know that.
They all lie on the same plane. So this is what you have to believe. You have to believe that the one that was 8 miles away refracted up 22 feet and stopped. It didn't go 23 feet or 21 feet because you wouldn't have been able to see it.
Yeah.
23 feet would have been in the air. 22 feet it went. And the other one went up 18 feet or 16 feet, whatever the numbers were. And they all appeared to be flat. So flat Earth explanation, camera, lights, view. Globe explanation, refraction, magic, bending, warping, and pretending to look flat.
Oh, yes, you definitely make a good point there. Let's switch it up to flight patterns. That's one of the stronger cases, I would believe, for globe Earth. Like, how does it because the different flight patterns.
So if you look at actual flight patterns and emergency landings, there's sometimes where someone's having a baby, a heart attack, they got to land the plane. And if you look at where they land sometimes and how fast they got there from their route, from the route that they say they're on, they get there in an impossible amount of time. And the flight routes don't make any sense. They show you these big curves, like from Santiago to Australia. I think it's Santiago to Australia. It goes all the way up to Texas, and then up to California, then over to Texas, and then all the way back down. It's crazy. Why would it cross the equator?
Yeah.
You're in the southern hemisphere. Why don't you just cut across the bottom?
That would make sense,
right? But if you look at it on a flat Earth, it's a perfectly straight line touching all 4 of those points.
Oh wow.
Perfectly straight.
People say, too many people have to be in on it. But that's not necessarily true. You just have to give them their flight patterns, correct? They wouldn't know they're not doing that.
Right.
Go, you fly this way.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the top down.
So if your model's a circle, could you still circle through like on a boat or no?
Ask that question again.
Like, because they say Columbus sailed around the Earth. So do you think that's
so Amelia Earhart went around the Earth, equidistant from the center, circle. If
so that would still fit in your model.
If your town hall was in the middle of your town and you went to the edge of your town and walked all the way around, is your town a ball?
No.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So it would work under your model too.
Right. If the town hall was magnetic, your compass would point towards the town hall the whole walk, so you can walk east or west right around that. So here is the globe model goes all the way from down here, all the way up and all the way down, but it's a straight line on a flat Earth.
Interesting. Let me see the globe model again.
Yeah.
So it says they say they do that?
That's what they say they do. And the Globers will say, no, they don't really go that way. But somebody in the Southern Flight section on my app, somebody was tracking a flight, and the flights you can track like actual flight data, and it had a waypoint, and one of the waypoints was Texas. On that flight. So they actually do go up there. But here's the catch. On a flat Earth, going from Santiago to Australia, those are on extreme opposite ends of the circle.
Yeah.
right? But going from California to Spain would be half that distance, or whatever distance it is. And they say, well, that's impossible for those flights to take the same time. So let me ask you a question. You and I are at a big ass airport, and we got to get to our gate. So the hallway is a mile long. I'm walking on the moving sidewalk. You're walking on the regular sidewalk. We're taking the same number of steps per minute. Who's going to get there first?
You.
Yeah. Right. So the flight, like if a plane had to go 10,000 miles, the other one had to go 5,000 miles. Can they both take off at the same time and get there?
Yeah.
Sure. One's going 500 miles an hour. The other one's going 1,000 miles an hour. And 1,000 miles an hour. These long haul flights are the Dreamliner 777, Boeing. They admit that they go 650 miles per hour. They probably go faster. And they also fly higher where there's 200 to 350 mile an hour circling winds up there.
Oh, so you would get
you get a tailwind. So 650 plus a 350 tailwind, you're going 1,000 miles an hour. And all of the times make sense. It's so simple.
Yeah. So what about, okay, let's say you came from New York. So it takes longer from New York to Vegas than to Vegas to New York.
It all depends on the trade winds.
It's the wind. They don't say it's rotation. They say it's because of the wind.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, from New York to here, the Earth is spinning at me at like 900 miles an hour. I should be here in no time flat.
Opposite way, right? So it should be
right. The Earth is spinning that way. No, the Earth is spinning to the east, right? Spinning to the east because the sun would come up, right? People say, give me proof of axial rotation, Earth spinning. And they go, well, when I go to the beach all day, I watch the sun move across the sky. Okay, you saw the sun move across the sky. What makes you think you're moving? You see the sun move across the sky.
It would look like the sun's moving.
You see the sun goes across the sky.
The
sun doesn't go below the flat Earth. It just goes around and it disappears due to perspective, due to the atmospheric deck.
Show it circling us.
Yeah, okay, our perception sees it's circling around from east to west.
So historically, it's always been considered flat, and all the scientific models have worked with it being flat.
Yeah, back in 2020. Before the 2020 nonsense, I was visiting my mother who was in a old age home, and she had injured herself, so she was in infirmary or whatever. And while she was taking a nap, I asked her, the nurses, if there's anyone over 100 years old that has their senses. And she said, well, Ruth, right over there. She's sitting in the lunchroom. And I talked to this woman, 102 years old. I was interviewing her about the World's Fairs, which we did some reaction videos on.
Interesting.
And she was so with it. I said to her, hey, what did they teach you in school about the Earth? And she says, they taught me the Earth was flat. This is in the late 1920s.
Yeah.
So they taught her that the Earth was flat. And I said, when did they change it? She didn't remember when they changed it because I remember them changing it, but I never understood it. And when I ended up telling her that the Earth is flat and that we are at the center of creation, she literally broke down in tears.
Because that's what she always believed.
It was amazing, amazing video that went viral. So everyone said, we need to go to old age homes now. We need to talk to people that are over 100. 2 weeks later, COVID, and nobody can go to any old age homes worldwide.
COVID was because of you. I blame you.
Dave. I'm saying that it could have been me.
It's possible. You're the reason they did COVID.
Maybe they were holding it off and they pulled the trigger early.
Go. Yeah, they were going to do it regardless.
Shut the nursing homes down.
No, that's interesting. They taught it that recently, and they didn't really change most of the scientific models.
Right. I just read you. There's a newspaper article from 1900. It was April 1900 even. In England, a teacher was being sued for teaching the heretical science that the Earth is a globe.
Being sued for it?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Well, I would like if your teachers were teaching something that you knew was false to your kids, wouldn't you want to sue them?
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. It would be hard to be a teacher if you didn't believe something and have to teach it.
Well, the teachers believe. The teachers aren't liars.
Yeah.
Teachers are memorizers and regurgitators. That's how you become a teacher.
That's true.
You want to be a teacher? Get straight A's. How do you get straight A's? Repeat everything that you're told in the Rockefeller textbooks. That's not learning.
I think that's important how you see the Rockefeller and Rothschild. Like a lot of people now know Ghislaine Maxwell's father was one of the main textbook tips.
So they worked
hand in hand to do all this.
Think about this. all the schools are underfunded, right? All the public
Yes.
schools, so they have to watch their dollars. Well, you know those textbooks; those are nice quality books, hardcover, color, nice paper, right? The school gets them for $5.
Wow.
Whatever the price is. You couldn't possibly compete with that. So I got a better textbook, right? But it's going to cost the school $30 per book.
So
they're
they're trying to take your mind. It's not about money. It's about taking your mind.
Right. So the textbooks that they sell to schools, they sell them at a loss because they want the curriculum.
gaining something
They want
else.
the curriculum. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like you said, the Rockefellers, they came in, the medical industry, the schools. They weren't trying to help us. Do you think they had your best interest? I don't think so.
No, they literally got rid of free energy. They got rid of real medicine. They changed everything to oil-based allopathic medicine. They took over the medical industry. They gave schools millions of dollars to only teach allopathic oil-based medicine.
Yeah. I think pieces of both are true. I think what happened, antibiotics hit, which was a great discovery. People way overused them. So it made them be like, oh, this works. And then they killed all the other medicine. And now everyone's sick, on drugs, surgeries.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm ready to checkmate you here.
Oh, boy. There you go.
The globe. Proof.
So if you going from Santiago, which is down here, right? And put your finger on Australia, which is over near you. It should be over here.
Oh, it's right here.
So the shortest route would be between my finger and your finger. I don't
Yeah.
know if everyone can see this.
But yeah. Not way around.
Yeah, it goes all the way up and over. But if you look at it on a flat Earth, everything makes more sense.
Okay. Oh, real quick. Okay, Antarctica. Is it up here?
It would be on the bottom. There you go.
Right here. So why is this blocked off?
Well, so in the early 1900s, 1940s, 50s, they did a bunch of. Can we get rid of this?
Yeah. We can get rid of the globe. I don't need it anymore.
They did.
See, there's a globe they made.
Yeah, you got it.
But you have your flat Earth keychain you gave me.
There you go. They did Project High Jump. Now let me ask you a question. Could you bring me a gallon of water without a container?
No.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Right? Large bodies of water at rest need containment and the lie flat at rest. Right? So what contains the water in a lake? Excuse me. What contains the water in a lake? The shoreline.
Lying
It's
there
higher.
flat.
The shoreline's higher than the water. It's containing it.
Yeah.
So you have, your container, which is the lake bed. But if the one side of the lake was lower than the water, would the water be contained? The water would flow away.
I don't think so.
So if you took the average height of all the continents, can you guess which one's the highest? Antarctica. It's over double the height of any other of number 2.
Really?
Double the height.
I've never heard that.
So Antarctica in our model is the shoreline that surrounds the world oceans. So the world's oceans are the big pond that we had in Kansas, and it contains our water.
Do you think they deliberately want us to stay away and not research it?
So after Admiral Byrd flew out there, he said he went beyond the South Pole and he found land bigger than the United States that no human has ever set foot upon. Well, if you look at where he came from.
Who said this?
This is Admiral Byrd, a U.S. admiral that did this huge Project High Jump, it was called, High Jump, High Land. And from where he came from, past the South Pole would put him in between Australia and South Africa. I think somebody would have seen land bigger than the United States over there, right? But what if he was just going out beyond Antarctica? What if there's more land out there? May or may not be. I don't know. I can speculate.
It's worth asking these questions.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the people the 2 islands that are right there?
Oh yeah. So
their names.
So as soon as he did that, he went on a news show and he mentioned that, and 6 months later he died in his sleep. Weird.
Oh wow.
Right? Yeah.
No, I mean the island.
Yeah,
the island
I will.
name. Oh, sorry.
So if you want to go to Antarctica, it costs you a fortune, but they'll take you to that little tip that sticks off the bottom, and there's 2 little islands out there: Rothschild Island and Deception Island. Yeah.
Deception Island.
Yeah.
Deception Island and Rothschild
And
Island.
people will say, I've been to Antarctica. I've seen it. Let me ask you a question. If you were coming from out in the ocean somewhere, coming from England on a boat, and they brought you to the south shore of Long Island.
Deception Island.
I brought you to the south shore of Long Island. Do you know what's happening in California?
No.
In Georgia?
No.
In Connecticut?
No.
You don't know anything. You don't even know what's happening on the
see that
north
little
shore of
tiny
Long
island.
Island.
Yeah.
You just see where you are you see maybe for 10, 15 miles. That's it. So you saw some ice, you saw some penguins, and they kicked you out. There is no free and independent exploration of Antarctica, and every country in the world agrees on that, and everyone has to become a pokey poke on the 20th.
Well, that's interesting. And
Yeah.
you've probably seen the old maps that show Antarctica with all this land up there, like old maps.
Land
from
and
hundreds.
animals and all sorts of stuff and buildings and pyramids.
What do you make of that? I thought that was really odd that they had those maps from before it was allegedly discovered.
Yeah. So everything in our history is a lie. We did our video, which I assume is out before this comes out, on the old world. My lunch break, he goes over lots of the stuff. Everything we think we know. This is the reason I hated history in school, because deep down
you can tell
inside,
you're being lied
my
to.
soul knew that all of this is nonsense. Every single bit of it.
Yeah, it's hard to accept because if everything's a lie, that's just like a lot to come up with and process.
You know, William Casey, the CIA director, said years and years ago, long before I was into any of this, he said, once everything the American people believe is a lie, our mission will be done, or something like that. And I'm like, everything? Come on. I asked you earlier, name one thing that's not a lie, and you kind of panic.
I hope you're wrong. You know, like I say, I hope you're wrong.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'd rather know than not know.
You know,
Right?
yeah.
I would never go back to being, fat and happy.
You wouldn't take the blue pill.
I would never take the blue pill. I am so happy right now. The world is such an amazing place. Oh, my recommendation to everybody is make sure you have enough non-GMO popcorn, because the show is about to begin and it's going to be amazing.
It does seem like things are heading towards, I don't know what path.
Something.
Things are accelerating. People are seeing things towards something. Exactly. I don't know what, but something weird's going on.
Well, they're going to try the whole alien, fake alien invasion, or unite one world order, one world government, one world religion. You'll own nothing and be happy.
And eat Z-bugs.
Eat Z-bugs.
Eat Z-bugs.
They want us to worry about climate change, eat less meat. But meanwhile, they're building data centers that are using more electricity than the rest of the world combined.
And they're buying beachfront houses, mansions, flying private jets. Look, I'm an environmentalist. I want clean water, clean air.
Oh, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing they push in climate change helps the environment. It's all about control.
Right.
And then I realized during COVID hit, I saw the exact same people, because I wasn't really political until COVID.
Yeah.
I saw the same people pushing climate change or pushing COVID. Like, I'm not going to trust Bill Gates.
No, absolutely not. The Microsoft guy. When did he become the world leader?
And he wants less people.
Where's Fauci, by the way? Where the hell is
He
he?
should be in prison, but he's not.
Yeah.
Okay, some more questions on flat Earth. Here would be a big one. Okay, they fly rockets up to space, the moon. So your whole opinion, you'd have to think, is space even real in your view?
It can't be. So we have to be contained, because right now you and I are breathing air. Air, gases need to be contained. Gases violently fill the available space, right? So we had a box of air, and we put it into a room, and we took all the air out of the room. So it's in a vacuum chamber now. If the box didn't explode, because it made a very strong box, you put a hole anywhere, top, side, or bottom, the air will violently equalize, even out of the top. Gravity's not going to hold it in, right? Well, the globalist argument to that is, well, there's a pressure gradient. There's a pressure gradient. The air gets thinner and thinner and thinner until it becomes space. Cool argument if you don't really think it through. We live in a very dynamic system, different gases. The higher up you get, gets colder. We're here in Vegas. I noticed there's snow on the top of the mountains, and it's hot as balls down here, right? So the higher you get, the colder it gets. The colder it gets, the lower the pressure. So we have different pressure. We also have different magnetic fields. The magnetic field is stronger down near the Earth. Well, that could attract more oxygen. The oxygen is magnetic. It actually is attracted to magnetic fields. So those are a couple things. But even if you had a tank of gas, like if we had a tank of propane and it was half full, there'd be liquid on the bottom. There'd be a thicker gas in the middle and a thinner gas at the top. But if I put a hole, all the gas is gone. So gas needs to be contained. A vacuum, nature abhors a vacuum, right? So the vacuum of space is a violation of natural law. It cannot exist. If we were on this little tiny ball, surrounded by a little pocket of air in an infinite vacuum, all the air is gone and we're dead. Instantly.
That would seem like the common sense.
That's
say,
what,
like,
and I could show you video of we have a glass volume of air, a valve, and then a glass volume with a vacuum.
Yeah.
And I can have it down. I open the valve, and
it would shoot
the air,
up,
it'll
yeah.
shoot up away from gravity. Where was gravity? Why wouldn't gravity hold it down? It can't hold it down. You can't. Gravity is just a theory. Well, why do things go down? That's another big one, right? Why do things go down? There is a scientifically provable, no denial, not theory, electrostatic flow of energy from the sky to the ground, right? You can measure it, right? Anyone that has a drone, go on Amazon, buy a spool of the thinnest copper thread you can find, like 100 yards of it or whatever, and then have the drone go up so so it's hanging, and when it's off the ground, I dare you to grab that wire. There will be so much electricity in it, you'll get jolted.
Yeah, because you can get electricity everywhere. People like invented electricity. Like, no, electricity's flowing.
I did it. I was trying to make a Franklin Bell of this thing with the cans, and I grabbed it, and it jolted me. The wire broke, fell to the ground. I coiled up all the wire, threw it in the garbage, and I'll never do that again.
But it's crazy how you can just like pull power out of there.
So there is this electrostatic flow. Everything, it has electrostatic charge to it. The ground is neutral; it's not moving, right? So anything in the sky has surrounded by a positive charge. If I let go of a helium balloon, it's going to go up because its buoyancy and density sort everything else out. The electrostatic flow says down is this way, and it's a weak force, but we can manipulate it. I can scientifically test it. So can you. I can make things go up using electrostatics, and I can make things go down by changing it from a positive to a negative, right? The XRT-3 triangle aircraft lifts and propels itself using electrostatics.
Interesting.
Why don't we have cars that do that?
No idea.
Yeah,
because they don't want us to.
Maybe they're pulling the energy straight out of the air, and they wouldn't even need to charge these things.
Yeah. So that's this whole energy thing.
Yeah.
I need to go much deeper into it, but it seems like you could just pull energy. Wasn't that what Nikola Tesla was doing?
Yeah.
And I don't think he didn't believe he was the first person doing it.
Do you know if you created an engine, electric, gas, whatever, that's more than 20% efficient, that it becomes a national security issue and it gets classified?
I don't know if it's true or not, but I've seen things of people like buying up patents or
100%.
The guy that all this clean energy.
The guy that made the water car that can go across the country on a couple of gallons of just fresh water. And they offered him $1 billion or whatever, and he said no. And then some investors
died
were with him. Well, they were toasted, and he drank his wine or whatever, and he went outside. He said they poisoned me, and he dropped dead.
Yeah, shocking that I guess exactly what happened to him without knowing the case.
Well, it's either that or he suicided himself by shooting himself in the back of the head twice.
Yeah, double tapped in the back of the head when they weren't suicidal.
Yeah.
Well, as a Tesla, he believed he could bring free energy, and that's why they he wasn't pushed. Edison was.
Yep.
And then we talked about it earlier, but the person who ended up getting all of his inventions and paperwork was Trump's grandfather. How
right.
crazy is that?
Yeah. It's all one big show. It's all one big show.
It's a theater,
Yeah, it's the theater of war. You remember the movie with Dustin Hoffman, Wag the Dog. Wag the Dog, where they fake the wars and everything. So this was over 20, I think it was 20 years or 21 years ago that film was made. 21 years ago. And there was a scene where they wanted the girl running out of the burning village. They're like, oh, have her saving a cat. And they're like, we can't find a cat. They're like, here, just give her this bag of potato chips and we'll swap it out. And I remember going, how can they do that? Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. But now you can do that yourself with AI. Easy. And that's with the consumer level AI. Who knows what
They're
they have?
probably like 10, 15 years ahead of us.
150 years ahead of us.
Yeah, they have technology long before they release it to us.
So this round, I think this world has gone through many resets, and they just give us back. You know, you're very interested in the World's Fairs. You know that there's a World's Fair going on in Dubai?
No.
There is a World's Fair. I think it's still going on. And Trump's having a World's Fair, I think, this summer.
Really?
Here in America.
I didn't know that.
And this is where they introduce to the public new technologies or technologies that they're willing to tell us about and their view of the future.
Yeah, there used to be massive deals. We earlier we did some videos on this today, but we're talking like the Chicago Fair, San Francisco. We didn't go to San Francisco, but I've looked into that one because I lived in San Francisco. They would build these massive cities up, in like 2 years, then tear them down allegedly.
No power tools, no
Yeah.
donkeys, no construction. No one has the
Just
blueprints.
doesn't make sense. Yeah. They can't find what
Nothing.
was what was the channel? The My Lunch
My
Break.
Lunch Break, yes.
He was showing how there's no records of all these buildings, how fast they were built up. It just doesn't make sense.
Isn't it amazing that every one of these buildings that just look incredible, none of them have the blueprints. None of them have the construction records. The architect died during construction.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Yeah, and they're amazing buildings because, like the San Francisco one, they left a couple up, but tore all the rest of them down, and they're like amazing, and they've been there like 120 years.
That's what they say.
That's what
120
they say,
years,
yeah.
like probably 1,000
Yeah,
years.
no damage done to them.
Yeah.
Why would they build that so quick then tear it down?
Anything that doesn't fit our timeline, they have to get rid of. That's what these wars are about. During the Gulf War, when we went in, what's the first thing we did? We went to the museum.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
Someone had discovered the tomb of Gilgamesh, and that in Iraq.
Yeah.
And they went there and built a base over it. They built a base
crazy.
over it.
They do that a lot where they'll build bases or other buildings over
Yes.
these even a lot of like the great churches you see, at least they'll be like, oh, this was something else underneath it before.
Yeah. Cheyenne Mountain, where we have NORAD allegedly. I believe that was an old world underground something.
Yeah, and this is, I guess, kind of connected to flat Earth in a way, because it means if it's a lie, the lie is so big, it would all be connected.
Yeah, it's the flat Earth is the foundation of the lies. So what I've noticed is like I used to have a thing called I called it the big three.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that we're not allowed to talk about, the school in Connecticut
Yeah.
that sounds like a beach. We got the Boston Marathon and the 9/11. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, I've the videos, documentaries I've done on those and other people have done are undeniable. And so if I wake people up to those, they're going to wake up. But what I found out is they go right back to sleep, most of them.
Yeah.
They go right back to sleep. But with flat Earth, you think about it before your feet touch the floor every morning.
You can't.
Every person, you can't get rid of it. Every time you go outside, it's always there. The problem is when a child would never, if a child, you never taught them anything, they would never say the Earth is a spinning ball flying through space.
No, of course not.
They would conclude that it's level, stationary, the sun and
that's what your
the
senses
stars.
tell you.
Yeah. But when you break their senses and you tell them, don't trust your senses, listen to these people who are liars. Your parents are liars. They told you about Santa Claus, right? The teachers are liars, but they're not. They're teaching what they
They're
believe.
teaching what they believe is true.
So you literally break the kid's ability to use his common sense, and that's damaging. And so there's the beginning of life right there.
Yeah, it's just, well, every conspiracy theory I keep going down keeps being like true. So it's like, okay, maybe I should look at these ones I'm not supposed to.
Yeah. Well, you're coming into this at the perfect time because flat Earth is going mainstream. Whether it depends on how many fake assassination attempts there will be between now and then. People get distracted, but once you're awake to this, you can start seeing through all of these deceptions.
Yeah, well, even like, I don't know what I'll probably air this in a couple of weeks, but like the Trump assassination like 2 days ago, it's so obviously it's a magician, an Israeli magician. He was right in the middle of his act, and the reveal is the shooter coming in. It's like, are you kidding me? Hey guys, I want to introduce you to one of our sponsors, Antelope Hill Publishing. Antelope Hill publishes books such as Culture of Critique by Dr. Kevin McDonald, who's someone I've interviewed on my show. He talks about the evolutionary strategy of the chosen people. So go to antelopehillpublishing.com and use promo code FIGHTBACK to support the podcast and get a discount. That's antelopehillpublishing.com and promo code FIGHTBACK. Hey guys, I'm demonetized everywhere. So if you want to support me and the podcast, go to fightbackpodcast.com. And you can buy some cool merch, like the shirt I'm wearing now.
Yeah. It's amazing. And then his press secretary goes, it's going to be a great speech. There's going to be shots fired. And she goes like this. She goes, shots fired. And if anyone knows what that is,
is that like what
it's
is that?
666. It's the 666.
Yeah, they're really into the numerology, too,
Yeah.
I've noticed. Again, I haven't gone down the rabbit hole. On the Trump shooter, there was a news report. She goes, she was talking about it. She goes, before someone... It was her husband told this girl, hey, be safe, something's gonna happen. They cut her mic.
Wait, what did she say?
She was saying the husband of the press secretary told her, be very careful tonight, be careful. And right then they cut off her sound. They're like, oh, we lost her.
Yes.
It's like, oh, they cut this as soon as, I don't know who the lady was, but she was someone that was there. It was a media person, and they just, I think it was Fox, they cut her mic off.
Wow.
So you're like, I don't know. Clearly, we have eyes and ears, and we're looking at this stuff. And anyone that's not an idiot can see something's not right.
It's shocking once you get past the cognitive dissonance, once you get past your ego, once you take the time and look at the evidence, you look back, everyone says the same thing. How did I ever believe in the globe? How did I ever believe it? It's so dumb.
Globers.
It's so dumb. I was a dumb glober. Right? I believe the Earth was a globe. I believe that the aliens told the astronauts never come back to the moon. I believed that people lived on the backside of the moon. I believed in all sorts of craziness because we're born as trusting humans. What if you had to verify every single thing you heard every day before you took action? You'd never get anything done.
Yeah.
You never get anything done.
You have to just trust what people came before you said.
So you trust people until they burn you. Maybe you trust them one more time. They burn you twice. Now you got issues.
Yeah, now it's on you if they burn you a third time.
Yeah. Now, right. So we want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but there's a lot of evil in this world. And here's the other thing. We're also good people can't fathom evil.
Yeah, I think that's the hard time when a lot of people, they won't believe like that it's possible there could be a human trafficking network because we would never hurt children like this. So to think that
nobody could
people
ever have
do this
sex
together,
with a baby. Nobody would ever kill a baby.
Especially when it's multiple people involved. There's like no way. We're not capable of that.
No
evil.
woman would ever be involved in that. You know, you have,
lots of women are involved in
you have no idea how dark this world could be. But here's the beautiful thing is, I used to be afraid of lots of different things. That's normal afraidness. Not afraid of anything anymore. Because once you connect with the truth of this world, the truth of who we are, what we're doing here, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The greatest time ever to be alive.
No,
Greatest time ever.
You can't live your life in fear.
Yeah.
They want you to feel like you're some insignificant speck of dust in the corner of a galaxy in a universe that goes on forever. Billions and billions of stars.
Yeah, it's expanding in every direction. All right, we're traveling 4.5 billion miles a year, never to return to where we were before. But if I go out on the same, go outside tonight, take a picture in exact position of the stars. No, remember where you are. Put a note in your calendar to do it next year and the following year and the following year, same night, same time. Every star will be in the exact same position.
Interesting. Okay. Why do you think historically all the ancients put huge significance in like the stars and I'm not that into this stuff, so I don't know it that well, but like the way they would place like the pyramids, all of that.
So all of this is an energetic system. Now, I took a lot of astronomy in college. I loved it. I was so good at it. Carl Sagan came out with Cosmos when I was in college. It was so amazing. I just loved it. It had observatory access to a real observatory.
Reading his book and everything.
Yeah, and all of billions and billions of years, and I believed all of it. And one of those quotes he said is, "Once you've been bamboozled, it's hard for someone to convince you've been bamboozled." Yes. He's the bamboozler. I never put it together.
It's harder to convince someone.
Yeah, and
it's harder to convince someone they've been fooled than it is to fool them.
Yeah. So what was the original question? Where were we going with that?
How did we get to Carl Sagan? Where was we? See, I get lost. I have an excuse. I've been punched in the head for like 20 years. There's just hold the where the fuck were we now? I'm distracted.
No, it's all right. It's how do we? It's gone.
Oh well. Let's go NASA. I think that's a big one because
So, but proving NASA is fake. Kind of to me proves the Earth. The Earth is not a globe. NASA was created right after Project High jumped. Hey, don't look over here. Look over there. We're going to send some Freemasons to the moon. The moon landing was a joke. Well, why wouldn't there be a whistleblower? Guess what? There was a whistleblower. Several whistleblowers. Bart Sibrel, who's not a flat earther, he made a movie called "The Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon," showing some fake footage from the moon, and he really exposed many things on the fake moon landing. So why would they fake the moon landing? Is to make you think you live on a ball and to separate you from creation.
Yeah, so a lot of people say it's because the arms race with the Soviet Union, but your theory is completely different. It makes sense.
Right.
So I never paid attention to politics, so I didn't have a strong opinion.
Me neither.
But Owen Benjamin was on my show talking about the moon landing. He started explaining it, and he had so many good points. Like, it just didn't make sense. I'm trying to think of some of the things. Oh, they said they lost it or they destroyed the technology.
Don Pettit, and some of you, those of you might know who he is as an ISS astronaut. He said, we lost the technology and it's a painful process to build it back again. He's literally on the edge of mentally handicapped.
Yeah.
And so all you got to know is when they were looking for one more ISS astronaut, they put a nationwide ad out, something like 4,000 or 40,000, that's some huge number of applicants. And they chose Don Pettit.
It's kind of like a Cash Patel situation.
It's so bad.
We could just kind of throw over there.
And I think Don Pettit, I think most of the astronauts are just liars, paid, threatened, whatever it is. I think that there's others that are just under deep mind control. Like the old guy, Charlie, like one of the oldest astronauts, he's been doing the circuit going around to all the big podcasts. And I think he believes he went to space.
Yeah.
He's just under mind control. You can hypnotize someone and tell him you're an astronaut. This is what happened. Because Bart Sibrel debated him. And you can tell he's under mind control because every time Bart brought up that he thinks the moon landing's fake, the guy's like, you think it's fake? Like 5 times during the interview, he heard it for the first time.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's total mind control.
Hadn't even pitched to him.
Yeah. And then when you ask the guy a question that he wasn't coached on the answer, he would just go blank.
Yeah. Well, let's say it is all fake. Think of how much money they get through NASA. Billions and billions of dollars they could get funneled to other projects.
I don't think that. All that money is going to other projects. It's just about. It's more about keeping us in control.
Well, it would be both. It would also give them massive amounts of money and keep us in control.
Right.
And some other things, the moon landing. Didn't they say they taped over the original tape?
So
they don't tape over tapes.
There
like
was
that.
there was a videotape shortage, so they taped over the tapes, and the telemetry data they lost it. But it was written in pencil by a woman on a stack of paper like 6 feet tall.
And Jack Black's mother did some of the math to get us there as an actor.
Yeah.
It's like, give me a break.
They're doing this stuff on purpose. They have to be at this point to wake up the people. That's how
the Trump assassination looked like. They did it on purpose for the magicians, like almost like they wanted us to know.
Yeah.
Well, the flag waving on the moon?
The flag waving. Now, people say, well, the thing moved. It has a wire, but the air moved it. Also, the flag had wet spots on it. You can't have a wet spot in a vacuum. Water boils in a vacuum.
There's no wind on the moon, correct?
Right, no
so
air.
The flag shouldn't
move at all, right.
And how does it work with stars in space?
Well, the astronauts can't even get it right. Some of them say you can see stars. Some of them say you can't see any stars.
I stumbled across a video of that, of a guy saying seeing stars, and then someone was like telling him just to be quiet. I was a little confused.
So at the Apollo, when they came back from the moon, they had the press conference with the 3 astronauts, and someone asked, could you see the stars from space? And the guy's like, yes, we could see the stars. And then I think it was Armstrong. He goes, I don't remember seeing any stars, right? These guys looked like they just got back and somebody's like had their dogs held hostage. Like, say the wrong thing, I'm going to kill your dog. That's what they like. If you just got back from the moon successfully, would you be able to sit still and not keep cheering?
I would be like hyped up.
You'd be all over the place.
I would be so hyped up. Like, man, I saw this and that and jumped around the earth.
Yeah, it was amazing. This surprised me. That,
if that was real, I'd be so hyped up.
You got nothing. But people say, and this is a true fact, I can't imagine that many people lying. I can't imagine that they would do this. Guess what? That's true for you. You can't imagine it. You can't imagine it. That's why they're getting away with it, because you are weak-minded and are unwilling to look at uncomfortable truths.
It's also possible a lot of people could believe it. A lot of people could maybe think they're doing part of the math, think they're doing this. It wouldn't take that many people to be part of it.
There's the compartmentalization at NASA is so strong, it's unreal. There was an interview with a person that was in the control room for the Apollo missions, and he said in the interview, "We've do so many simulations that when the real event happened, I couldn't tell the difference." So you're in a room being fed data, and now this is the real one, and it works just like the simulation.
They just put you in the simulation.
You're just it's just fake data again. And the data comes like from space to Australia, then it goes somewhere else, and then it goes to NASA.
Yeah. Well, another thing I thought of, how is the phone, like in 1969, a phone works perfectly from the moon? Didn't they do like a call?
Yeah, they did. Nixon called and talked to the moon, and the delay was wrong, and it's just so many things wrong with it. Trump, the other day, talking to the astronauts going around the moon, he forgot it. He said there was a 9-second delay. But they say something and he responds in a half a second.
So there was no delay.
I think he's doing it on purpose. Or is he that dumb?
Yeah, I don't know. It almost feels like is it in purpose? They want us to know. I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't know. It's interesting to think about, but either way, it's fake.
Yeah, see, I didn't really follow. I was traveling during this last moon launch. What happened with that? I saw a lot of people like online, like clamoring.
They threw out so many different anomalies, so many clues. When it took off, they didn't even mention the astronauts or show a camera inside the capsule for 15 minutes until they were in space, allegedly. Wait, what? Why not a camera? How come we get a live streams from space all day long of them playing with their food, right? Oh, we've got shrimp scampi we're eating in a bag, and we've got this, right? And the girl's hair's all over the place, right? How many hairs does a woman lose every day? Like 150
Probably
times 10 days. Could you imagine floating around in that cabin, hair all over the place? That would never, ever, ever happen. So many glitches and errors with like there's a red tracking dot on one of the packages, and was it flipping around, it disappeared. All 4 astronauts are over here, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a jar of Nutella comes floating into the scene with a perfect label shot as it goes by the camera. Who threw the Nutella? Who threw it? Where'd it come from?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, and then if you look, the capsule, so they're in the pod up there, and then right here is the capsule, right? The little triangle capsule that comes back to Earth, and the bottom part of the capsule is what's connected here. Well, they all have to transfer from here into the pod and then go back to Earth.
Yeah.
How did they get into there? Because the bottom, where the heat shield is, there's no door. How did they get in? The door was on the side, on the outside. They didn't have spacesuits. How did they get in there?
No idea.
Yeah, it's because it's all fake. It's all fake.
Yes, it's just such a big lie that we don't want to believe it. So where, if they shoot the rockets up, where do you think they're going?
Bermuda Triangle. They just crash into the Bermuda Triangle. And if anyone says, I saw something fall, they'll go, oh, that was just the first stage. Yeah, that's what you saw.
Yeah.
So how are you going to know?
Earlier, we were watching some videos where it shows it has this giant, what is it, the canister? It's what launches it
The
up.
external tank.
Yeah, you saw the difference when that drops versus the person, how it just disappears, and how the tank, it looks like it floats. You had blimps next to it.
Yeah. So I was showing the space shuttle, the launches, the external tank, the big orange tank. It's a blimp. It's a balloon. It's filled with helium. That's how they lift these things up.
Yeah, I mean, it looked that way. We watched these videos.
Yeah.
What channel was that on? Was that on your Flat Earth?
That
Dave?
was on my app under Rockets or Balloons section.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't really watching this stuff before because I wanted to come on here with an open mind, but I'll go and watch some of the stuff. You do lots of videos where you're showing, because like watching these videos, you can look at it. And again, that by itself doesn't prove anything, but it did look just like a blimp.
Well, they're faking space. So we talked about we can see things fast beyond the physical limitations of the horizon, right? We have a shot, we call it the Black Swan. The camera is 8 feet off the water, and there's 2 oil rigs, 6 miles and 10 miles. And the horizon, according to Globe Mass, should be 3.5 miles away. That means we shouldn't be able to see the surface of the water beyond 3.5 miles. We can see the water up to the 6 mile one, in between, and past the 10-mile one for miles. So the radius of the Earth, from the center of the Earth to the surface, the radius has been debunked. All of space has been debunked. So the radius debunked, the ball's debunked, space travel's debunked, the planets are debunked, everything is debunked. Everything falls apart without the radius. And we don't have the radius. So,
so their official model, you're saying, doesn't match. That's their model.
Their model. So we're not making a lot of claims about what the flat Earth is. We know the sun circles. We know the sun travels in between the 2 tropics, 6 months into Cancer for our summer, 6 months out to Capricorn for our winter, Australia's summer. And that's been well documented.
What happens? Do they just ignore it when you ask about that? Or what kind of response do you get to that?
From who?
Like when you say, why does this not match? If I look eight miles out,
they'll say refraction. They'll say refraction. So you have to believe that the water surface is refracting up different amounts, because every foot farther you go would have to have a different amount of refraction to stop at eye level.
I don't believe that.
It's so dumb. But here's the problem. Most people won't stop to really think it through because we weren't taught to think. We were taught to memorize.
Come up with a better answer than that. Refraction, that's just like, come on.
That's all they have.
That's weird. Okay, and here's another one people say, I don't know what's true and what's not. They say most of the images we see are not real of showing the Earth from space. They say they're like AI or
Well, the Earth from space, the NASA admits, Robert Simmons, the guy that created the blue marble that was on everyone's iPhones when iPhones came out. You remember that? He said he made it in Photoshop because it has to be.
It has to be
It
Photoshop?
has to be. It says he made it in Photoshop because it has to be.
Why does it have to be?
Because there's no way to film it from space.
So why show it to us if it's not real then?
Well, because the NASA gave him a bunch of data, and he created it based on that data.
But they never say, hey, this isn't a real image when they post the image.
They
just
never
post it like
say
it's real.
photograph. They never say photograph. Go on their website. Look up the 2001 blue marble and the 2007 blue marble, and they both have the same clouds.
Wow. But
Yeah.
they should tell us if that's not a real photograph, but they don't.
They don't, right?
That's so deceitful. I had a few things. Let me see if I had some notes of trying to counter argue. See if I have anything good on here.
This is the two oil rigs, and you can see the surface of the water beyond the second oil rig. You shouldn't see the surface of the water in front of the first
Yeah.
oil rig.
Okay, so what is the moon in your opinion?
It is something that controls the delivery and removal of souls. All right. Saying that it's made of cheese is probably more accurate than a rock, which I don't believe it's made of cheese. It's a light in the sky, right? Go outside, find one of those sculptures of a rock that's a sphere on a sunny day. Stand next to it. Is it lit up like the moon? No, it just has little light coming off of it. The moon is a light. It casts my shadow on the ground.
Yeah.
I can read by it. It's
Well,
250,000 miles away. It would have to be so friggin' bright when you're closer to it that it would be blinding. It would be blinding like the sun.
And it affects energy and stuff.
It does have
The ocean, tidal waves, how people behave, girls'
Yeah.
menstrual cycles. It's clearly a very powerful for it just to be a rock.
right. It can't. It's not. It's just not a rock. It can't be a rock. It is literally a light in the sky. And people say, what about eclipses? The lunar,
That's a good question.
So the lunar eclipse. What causes the lunar eclipse? The lunar eclipse is when the Earth gets in between the sun and the moon,
Yeah.
and casts your shadow on the moon.
Yeah.
Right. So you got the sun here, you got the moon here, and my microphone is the Earth.
Yeah.
Right. My microphone's the Earth. You're standing on the top of the Earth.
Mhm.
Has the eclipse started yet?
If they're standing,
No, here's the sun, here's the moon, but the Earth is down here. It's not in between. You have to
No.
wait until somehow it gets in between.
yeah,
Right? And as it gets in between, if the moon is coming up, the moon, the shadow will start on the bottom. The problem is many times the eclipse starts while the sun and the moon are visible to the
Yeah.
observer above the Earth.
so, yeah. I just saw
And it comes in from
I
the
just saw
top.
the one that came from the top.
It comes from the
I'm
top.
pretty sure it came from the top. That
Yeah.
blood moon that just happened.
Yeah, so that's called a selenilian eclipse. But the astronomers have a hard time saying selenilian, so they call it the geometrically impossible eclipse because it's geometrically impossible. They call it the impossible eclipse and they walk away. That's it.
Wait, so it should be impossible.
It's geometrically impossible, but it happens and they don't explain it.
yeah, unless I'm remembering wrong. I think the one that just happened came going down.
Right. That's impossible.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, were you able to see that from where you're at, that eclipse? It was
No, I didn't see that one. But also they say only a sphere can cast a curved shadow on another sphere, right? That's not true at all. Only a sphere casting a shadow on another sphere actually cancels out the curve and makes a straight line. If you use you got a light source, you have a sphere and another sphere, the shadow on the sphere will not be a smiley face or a sad face. It's a straight line. It comes in as a straight line and it leaves as a straight line. And it's the opposite of what they tell you. The globers make empty claims. Globers. Well,
these crazy globers.
It's true.
Yeah, well, it's like what 1984. What is I think the final command is that don't believe your own ears and eyes, and your own ears and eyes would tell you that it's flat.
That's what we do to our children. Anybody that tells their kids that Santa Claus is real is breaking their minds.
Right? I've had arguments over this because people, you can't tell your kids Santa's real. I can't.
You can teach them about the spirit of Santa. You know what? If you don't behave and eat your dinner or put your pajamas on, the spirit of Santa, which is mommy and daddy, aren't going to be happy. You get the same control. That's why mothers don't want to give up their.
They want you to lie.
They want that 6 months of being able to threaten the kids when they've had it up to here.
But I don't believe in lying to my children. How can I ask them to be honest with me if I'm not honest with them?
And when your kid finds out Santa's real, you've broken their mind. You've hurt them.
I'm glad you agree with me because we're rare.
Yeah.
A big fight over this.
Well, more and more people are realizing it and coming up with a better story. You can make a story about the spirit of giving, the spirit, the better
it's not real. We're just going to play along with it.
The better you behave for me during the year puts me more in the spirit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Daddy's going to be Santa.
Yeah. Daddy, whatever. That's all fine. That's good. But lying to your kids is part of the system.
I think that's deliberate, teaching the kids to lie, the tooth fairy, Easter bunny,
100%.
So then your kid, they lose trust for you.
They lose trust for you. And it literally breaks when you tell when they go to school and they tell them about dinosaurs and the sun is doing everything. We're spinning. They don't even teach them the full heliocentric model because even a kid would go, "That's stupid." It's telling them to believe something that goes against their God-given senses. Their God-given senses are more important than what a teacher will tell them.
They want,
and you're breaking them. You're breaking that. You're breaking their ability to think.
I remember really young, I knew it was fake, but I was like pretending like I believed something that I knew wasn't real. And it's just like, why are we doing this when I know it's not real?
Yeah.
But they do push that. They want you to lie to your kids, get your kid not to trust you, take them young. NASA's also space travels heavily pushed on children.
They took the Bible out of school, no more praying in school. And then they added the space initiative and they brought a teacher. They're going to bring a teacher to space. Remember the space shuttle Columbia? No, the space shuttle Challenger. That's the one that blew up.
And they had us all watch it.
So that's the first time they had television in every classroom.
They made us all watch it.
Trauma-based mind control, right? And it hit everyone really hard.
People my age, they all know when they really don't know they're younger. They had us watch, and all the kids they brought out to watch it launch into space. The teacher
first time ever
blew up and killed them.
And then over time we found all 7 of those astronauts alive.
What?
Working at universities, same name, same birth date. A couple of them say that's actually my identical twin brother, but there's no history of them having a twin. It's amazing.
That is weird how they had us all at school. Everyone remembers it, so it wasn't just my school. Like all around, I've had people mention it. I brought it up one day, and everyone there had remembered it, and it was traumatic. Everyone remembered.
Traumatic for me. I was at work in New York City. I saw it on TV, and I was like, "Whoa, it's crazy!"
All your kids are excited watching it, and boom.
Right. And if you really get into it and look into, how do they pick Krista McCullough to be the teacher? It was just, she had some weird connections, CIA connections or something. It's just a lot. It's a big game we're in.
Well, NASA has some weird, I don't know how important these people were, but people like Jack Parsons and
Aleister Crowley. Yeah.
Like where he was was he a part of kind of the early NASA, right?
The NASA founders, I guess, or inspiration for NASA came from the occults.
Yeah, they're doing like witchcraft, sex magic. They were doing. I don't know a lot of details about them, but they were like really truly believed in this like dark magic.
Yeah.
So you have these people that are like, I don't know if it's satanic. I don't know enough about what they were practicing, but I think it was pretty dark, and it was this magic occult, and that's who started NASA.
Right, and we have Artemis, and which is a pagan god, and Apollo. And
Apollo's another god.
Yeah,
interesting.
And everything they do is on the occult side.
I think we need to pay attention to these names: Deception Island, Rothschilds. Doesn't MAGA mean like some kind of witchcraft thing? And
there was something about MAGA.
It's always the names. They pay attention to this. The gods, like you're saying, on the spacecraft, Apollo and Artemis.
Yeah.
It's like they're like telling you.
Why are they doing that?
Yeah. So what are the biggest pushbacks that I've missed? There has to be some other big ones.
Well, people say, why do stars rotate in the opposite direction in the south and the north? All right.
It's a good one.
They don't. They all rise in the east, set in the west, and they're moving. We're not moving. They're moving. There's no evidence that we're moving. There's evidence that they're moving because we see them moving. But picture yourself on the axle of a car wheel, right? You're in the center on the axle. You look over at the left wheel, it's going clockwise.
Mm-hmm.
You look over at the right wheel, it's going counterclockwise. But they're both going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not spinning in opposite directions. If you look north, anywhere in the world, in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, all the stars, all the luminaries go counterclockwise.
Okay.
If you look south, anywhere in the world, they all go clockwise. Now, people say, how come in the south, when we look at the South Pole, they're going clockwise? And how come in the North Pole, they go counterclockwise? Because you're looking north or you're looking south. It doesn't matter where you are. They go the same direction. But you're told by Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson that they rotate in opposite directions, and that can only happen on a ball. You store that as truthful information. You go look south, you go look north, and you go, wow, they're right.
Well, I mean, they're scientists on TV. They have to be right.
Yeah.
Bill Nye wouldn't like it was the science guy.
So they make empty claims as true. Like there was a big article last year. Do you know what the analemma is?
No.
The analemma is if you go out every day in the afternoon and take a picture of the sun every day of the year or every week of the year, same time, it'll draw a figure 8 in the sky with a big loop and a small loop. The small loop is north and the big loop is south. Mm-hmm. Well, on the flat Earth, the north loop, the Tropic of Cancer, is smaller. Then there's the equator, and then there's the big loop. It's the Tropic of Capricorn. So when it's out over Capricorn, it's making a big loop, and when it's over Cancer, it's making a small loop. So that's why you get this loop in the sky. So the analemma actually proves flat Earth. There's no explanation for it on a globe. They used to have analemmas on all old globes, but they took it off.
Interesting.
So here's this big article last year. This guy had a Ring door cam in his driveway, and his house, the corner of his house, had a shadow on the driveway, and he took a picture every day and plotted it, and it made an analemma, a big circle in the winter and a small circle in the summer, right? So tracking it on the ground, right?
So
and they go, man with a Ring doorbell proves the globe. What? That proves flat Earth. But they say it. No one's able to think it through. Well, how does it prove the globe?
Yeah, people rarely question things.
People just say, because they say it proves the globe, you know.
Just say, okay, it proves it.
Yeah.
People rarely want to sit and actually think about the details of it. It takes time. You have to pause, think about it.
Yeah.
So when's the next Flat Earth conference? I was invited to one like a year ago.
There's one in Spain. You want to come in September in Spain?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what sucks? The one was in Vegas that I couldn't go to.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah,
it's right here.
Is that like a yearly thing? Or?
No, it's random, and the person that's doing it isn't doing them anymore.
Oh.
There's 2 more conferences. There's one in Arizona. That's going to be in November. I think it's in October, November. And there's one in Texas that I'm probably going to.
When's that?
Maybe. That's also in
Texas
November, beginning of November.
It'd be fun to come by.
I would.
It sucks I was traveling because I don't know who it was. It was someone involved was trying to get me to come.
Yeah. Well, I was there.
Yeah. You're Flat Earth Dave.
Well, here's the thing. There's people that know the Earth is flat. Mm-hmm. And are out here trying to spread the word, trying to wake people up, free them from the Matrix.
Yeah.
It literally frees you from the Matrix. Then there's people that are just ignorant, that don't know, that are afraid to look, haven't heard. That's okay. And then there's the anti-flat earthers. There's 2 classes of them. Paid, which are very few, and other ones that are just not spiritually grounded and have let evil spirits take over their minds and have them fight. Right?
Most people don't think for themselves.
Most people, it takes effort to think for yourself, and you weren't taught what in school taught you to think.
Nothing.
I mean, very few classes.
No, nothing.
Yeah, I do every year. There's 8 different high school senior classes that invite different speakers on to talk about radical things.
Yeah.
Flat Earth is radical, and at least this teacher is having these kids think for themselves. But let me tell you something: 18 to 21 years old are the dumbest people in the world. They're so dumb. They're so lost. You can't. So if you mention God, you'll lose them completely.
Really?
Right? Completely. They're all gone.
Think it's just too much social media? Or what do you think?
No, it's the school system. The school system. And then if no matter what you show them, they'll just not. They're like, well, he proved all these things, but the one thing he didn't prove, therefore the earth is a globe. But you can't even convince them that there's even a possibility that there's a shadow government or a shadow force or a higher power that's controlling our governments. That's not even an option for these people.
It seems obvious now if you're paying attention. How can you not see it?
They can't believe. They can't believe that's even a possibility.
Because that's what they don't want to believe that.
This is what school has done to these kids. School at this point, if you're sending your kid to public school, you're a child abuser.
Yeah, no, I agree. And they teach kids classes like how to spot misinformation, but really it's real information.
On my app, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app, you can find it on my website. I have a homeschool section. The information in there will teach your kid how to survive in this world. There's stuff from everything from health to biblical cosmology. There's a homeschool course. If your kids are homeschooled or public schooled, sign them up for this biblical cosmology course, and it's amazing.
And also, let's say for whatever reason, you can't afford to homeschool your kid, make sure you're talking to them and having honest conversations.
Yeah.
Teach your kids how to critically think at the very least. Teach them to question everything, including yourself.
Yeah. It's hard. Kids just want to get through school. They want to have social life. They don't want to be, the worst thing to make it is have your friends say that you're crazy or say anything bad about you. Has anyone ever said anything bad about you?
All the time. What about you?
Since we've been sitting here, I posted a picture earlier.
Just full of people talking crap about both of us.
I can't wait. It said the best comment so far was 1 + 1 = idiot.
And they're like, that guy's a Jew. What'd you say? Jake's a Jew?
I said, Jake's a Jew. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm surprised you're talking to me. A lot of Jews think I'm like some hateful Nazi.
I know less about the Jewish religion than most people. I'm actually, for the first time in my life, once a week, I had done a podcast to a whole bunch of these rabbis, are very strong Jewish people. I think some of them are rabbis, or all of them, and they offered to teach me for a half an hour a week. Just read through their stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm interested. I want to. A lot of people say there's some crazy shit. So far, I've been doing it for a year. They haven't said anything that's really. It's all good. It's all good stuff.
I think there is crazy shit, but it's not like
They haven't gotten to it. I'm waiting for it.
So
I'm waiting for it.
Hopefully, the mainstream ones don't like cover any of that.
Yeah,
that's like old buried shit. But you see shit in Israel, in my opinion, is pretty dark. And demonic.
It's really, really, really crazy what's going on there. But we don't talk about politics. They're talking about basically be a good person, help your neighbor. Share love, all good stuff.
I'm not gonna dislike someone because how they're born. People and I do know some people that are pretty extreme.
Yeah.
Why did you have a Jew on your show?
Well, that's their problem, not my problem.
People are mad at you too. Why did you talk to that anti-Semite?
Yeah. Are you an anti-Semite?
I won an award for that.
Did you? Nice. I might have also.
I was nominated for Anti-Semite of the Year. Pretty big deal.
You know what? I just hate evil people. I hate people that do shitty things.
You nailed it right there.
Yeah. That's it.
And behind this evil is lots of non-Jews involved.
Yeah. There's assholes in every group.
Mm-hmm.
Christians, Muslims, Jewish people. Mm-hmm. Women's groups, there's assholes everywhere.
Yep, no, 100% agree.
But there's also wonderful, loving, caring people.
Yeah, if you actually go and talk to people.
Yeah. Same
with the whole left versus right divide. He's a Democrat, he's a Republican. Like, give me a break, people.
Left hand, right hand, same monster. Right? They want us fighting. This is a spiritual war that we're in. We haven't gotten into this. Yeah. This is a spiritual war that we're in, and they want our loosh energy. You've heard of loosh energy?
Yeah, the dark forces that feed energy off of.
They want that. They want that energy. They don't care what side we're on as long as we're fighting. Here's the thing: the real rulers of this world, which we don't even see, they're above the puppets.
They're above, yeah.
They're demonic, and they want our loose energy. So all they want us is fighting. They don't care if we're flat or globe as long as we're fighting. No. They want this energy, but here's the thing: they're farming us for this energy. They've created this system, they've hijacked this system, and they're efficient farmers. That's good news, because if you don't feed them, they leave you alone. They're like, you know what? Jake and Dave aren't getting mad at anything.
anything to
So
us,
I'm just going to go over here and make these other people freak out.
Can't take our energy.
Right? I don't feed
during
them.
COVID, I gave them no fear. I'm not going to catch COVID.
People say, why don't you debate so-and-so? My only answer is, I don't deal with demons.
Yeah, exactly. The people are always trying to get me to debate these people. I'm like, why am I going to debate this person?
Yeah, debating is trying to win. I want to share a conversation. We're having a conversation.
I want to hear your perspective. People are like, oh, you need to debate them if you're having a flat earther on. I'm like, well, I haven't even heard flat earth.
Yeah.
Can I let them come on and like, I don't like debates. Like you said, you're not trying to get to the truth. You're just trying to win.
Yeah, I offer 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. I go on TikTok Live, angels_of_light. He's on in the mornings, usually East Coast time. He's in Australia. And we have people come up, then bring your best globe proof. But your best globe proof shouldn't start with why on a flat earth does, right? How about bring me your scientific globe proof, and I'll give you 3 Bitcoin.
Scientists say,
yeah. Well, where did you get your degree? That's a appeal to authority fallacy.
Yep.
Right. Your degree is, as we talked about before, indoctrination.
Yeah, because like I said before, my whole life was only focused on just fighting, maybe mix the girls in a little bit. COVID hit, I retired, so I started researching it, and I could look through studies, see it wasn't real, and everyone would be like, shut up, you're not a doctor. Huh? Why do I need to be a doctor to like look at studies? And I have eyes and ears.
Yeah.
Really, people aren't critically thinking.
Yeah, and this whole truth journey, flat Earth has really woken me up to many things. I'm in a alternative medicine Telegram group with all of the leading.
I would love to get on there because I'm curious. I think our medical system totally screwed.
Oh, it's totally screwed up. I'm actually doing an interview, which will be out by the time this comes out, with Amanda Vollmer. She is probably one of the world's leading natural healers. And we're going to talk about the cheap, free ways, the easiest ways to stay healthy and do things that'll change your life. Amazing.
Yeah, no, because I think medicine should not be pharmaceuticals should not be your first choice. Surgery should not be your first choice.
Right. The medical industry is the number 3 cause of death.
Yeah, they admit it's number 3, so it's probably higher. Their own statistics say it is.
Yeah.
I think 500,000 people in America killed by medical accidents.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's nuts.
The amount of people and the drug addiction.
Yeah. So, here's another thing about flat Earth. So when you're having discord inside your body, you might become depressed. When you become depressed, you might start drinking, drugs, whatever. You might lose control a little bit. Well, what causes discord in your life? Well, your soul, which is your eternal self, is here having this experience. And you, in my opinion, you came here with amnesia to expand the mind of creation, okay? Expand the mind of creator. So your soul's has a path and wants you to go this way. And you're supposed to go with the flow, go with your soul, but people get so lost in the soup, get lost in the materialism, get lost in the news. News is steering your mind. News, north, east, west, south, news, right? They're steering your mind. And so your soul is trying to guide you. You're fighting it and you're going the wrong way. The farther off your path you go, the worse your life gets.
Yeah.
And so your soul gives up. That's when you lose your motivation. That's when you become depressed. I've seen people that wake up to flat Earth that have been on antidepressants and drug addict and alcohol, and they wake up to flat Earth and they kick it all. Wow. They kick it all because their soul goes, wait a minute, you're on. We're back on course here. And because when you understand that you're at the center of creation, this place is amazing, and what you can do to help other people is phenomenal.
So you think they want us just to feel small is why they do
small,
it?
Weak, scared, unimportant, lack, right? The globe is fear. It's lack. It's control.
Unimportance.
Yeah. If you believe you live on a globe, you need NASA to protect you from incoming asteroids and from aliens, right?
The alien invasion.
Yeah. If you believe you live on a globe, well, guess what? There's no more fish. Well, what if there's more fish all the way out there? You're running out of food. We're overpopulated. If you live on a globe, global warming. It's all bullshit.
Flat warming?
Yeah.
those silly globists, now that I have my flat earth keychain.
Yeah. They've been saying that Florida is going to be underwater. Al Gore, remember?
Yeah.
By 2000, we're going to be underwater. The water hasn't changed an inch. Not an
They've
inch.
been saying this forever.
Yeah.
As he's on a private plane. These guys are just so full of it. Anyone that believes these idiots. So like I said, I'm not ready to say I believe in flat Earth, but I'm ready to at least. You made very valid points. It's worth considering. I'm gonna go research a lot of this stuff you said.
Let me tell people what to do. Turn off Netflix forever, but just for a week or two, and go to my website, flatearthdave.com. Scroll down, Crash Course, and just watch those videos. The first 5, there's one by military people, all talking about how all of their equipments, all of their weapons, all of their planes, everything only works on a flat Earth. That one should do it for you right there. There's other ones that are more movie-like, the ones that are interviews, pilots, all sorts of stuff. Watch those. If you really want to get into it, my app is super cool, and you can actually find other flat earthers around you. There's
build a community.
There's even a dating thing on it, because if you're a flat earthers, you can find other cool people, do meetups and stuff. There's already many people that have gotten married and had kids because of that. That makes me really happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so it'll help teach you, and the better you get at knowing flat Earth, the better you can teach somebody else. And when you wake somebody up, it changes their life. There's nothing that'll change. Well, I can say there's nothing, but it's one of those things that will change someone's life. When you wake up to flat Earth, everything in your life changes.
We'll see if I'm flat Earth, Jake, next time you meet me.
You are flat Earth, Jake.
No, but community is so important. Like
Absolutely.
you said, it's like you have to have a community. If you help build that,
Yeah.
Like I'm fortunate through like jujitsu and fighting, have the community. But a lot of people are struggling with no community, no purpose in life. They feel defeated, and like COVID really hit that in when you're shut down from work. So many friends I know got like drug addictions during that time period, lost their businesses. They want to like take our communities from us.
Hey, one other thing I want to say before we wrap this up is in 2014, the anti-flat earthers out there would be like, oh, good luck ever finding a job, you stupid flat earther, right? No one's going to want to work with you. Well, guess what? The opposite's true now. We don't want to work with them, and we don't want them working for us.
I'm not hiring any Globers.
Yeah. So, like someone goes to me like, hey, I need my kitchen redone. I got 10 contractors. One of them's a flat earther. They're all about the same. I'm going to hire the flat earther.
Yeah,
but
sense.
On my app, I started a jobs board, and it's for people looking for jobs and people offering jobs that want to find like-minded people. Most of the people on here haven't become a human pincushion in 2020, and they're awake and aware, and it's starting to take off. There's many jobs going on there, and people are finding like awesome people. Flat earthers are just awesome people.
Yeah.
They are.
I'd like to add to the jab. I've had people hit me up, just freaked out. What can I do? I took it. I'm like, don't be scared is what you can do.
Yeah.
You're overthinking it. Yeah, you shouldn't have taken it, but the fear you're pushing from taking it, that's going to hurt you.
So people say the number one thing they call me is a grifter because I'm selling things. Go to my website. There's a bunch of stuff.
Oh, you want to make a living?
Well, no, that's not it. I do want to make a living.
How terrible of you to want to make a living.
But the only things I sell on my website are things that people ask for and things that I absolutely love. There's a thing called Masterpiece. I don't know if you heard of it. It's a zeolite. You put 4 drops under your tongue morning and night, and it detoxes you. It's proven to take this nanotech out of your body, and it's amazing. It's on my website. It's on the app. It's linked in every one of my videos, flatearthdave.com. And the people that take the jab that do it, it literally, it
can help cleanse it out.
It helps cleanse it out.
And do that, and also, but don't be over scared. Pushing fear into your body will make you sick.
100%. And try to find my interview with Amanda Vollmer. I haven't done it yet, but it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I want to look some more into this alternative medicine. Maybe like you can connect with me.
I'll connect you with Amanda.
Get added on that Telegram channel. Anything else we should hit before we wrap? Or
there's so much that I would probably want to say.
More videos coming out too. We shot some reaction videos and stuff. So.
Nice. Again, don't believe anything I say or anything anyone says. Verify these things. If it rings true to you, on my app, there's a section called experiments. We did all the experiments for you and we documented them. You can watch them. You can tell that they're real, and you won't be able to answer them from a globular point of view. You'll be able to answer them from a flat earth, a true earth. Flat earth is biblical. Flat earth is scientific. Flat earth is provable. Globe earth is a joke. Right? Astronomy, I used to laugh at astrology. Like, how could the retrograde of Mars affect me? It's so far away, it can't even affect our tides. That was my thinking. Yeah. And the truth is, it's close. It's energetic. It has to. All of these luminaries in the sky affect our daily life. It's part of this whole system simulation. I hate using that word, but it kind of is some sort of simulation that we're in. And astronomy is just pure pseudoscience. I thought it was the greatest thing ever, and it's just nonsense. So take the time, uncalcify your pineal gland, eat right, exercise, think right, love right, and learn the truth of who you really are. This place is amazing, and we are incredible, powerful beings.
Yeah, and I would just like to add, to the religious people, both Muslim and Christian, I believe flat Earth would fit that model.
100%. Page 1 of the Bible. God separated the waters from the waters and created the firmament. The firmament is the dome, and there's waters above. NASA, everything in space is water. Docking, Sea of Tranquility, ships. Everything is nautical terms. Kind of weird.
Well, great conversation, Dave.
All right, man.
I'm sure
Thanks.
We'll both get a little mad at us, but I always talk to whoever I want to, and hopefully I'm sure we'll do it again.
All right, awesome.
I think because there's all kinds of topics we could hit.
Yep. Watch out for the trolls in the comments. You'll just see who they are and just
ignore them.
Just ignore them. Don't feed the demons.
Exactly. Well, thanks a lot.
All right, man. Thanks.
As many of you know, I have many controversial guests, so that comes at a cost of being demonetized everywhere. So if you want to support the program, go to fightbackpodcast.com, and I have all kinds of merch on there, whether it's jiu-jitsu, fighting, political, and other accessories. And thanks for the support.